What happens when the person you love values your bank account more than your heart? Watch what happened when Chloe Sterling threw her husband out into the rain for being broke. You won't believe what happened next when a luxury vehicle pulled up to the curb. Nobody saw this coming, but this single moment changed everything forever. Chapter 1. The Ultimatum. Ethan Cross sits at the small kitchen table. He wears a faded gray t-shirt and stares at a blank laptop screen. Chloe Sterling stands over him with her hands on her designer leather hips. She throws a heavy black suitcase directly onto the floor. "I'm tired of living like a peasant, Ethan," she snaps fiercely. Ethan looks up at his wife with tired, loving eyes. "The project is almost finished, Chloe," he pleads softly. Chloe laughs loudly and points a manicured finger at the front door. "Your useless coding projects do not pay for my luxury lifestyle," she sneers. She grabs his worn jacket and tosses it into his lap. "Pack your cheap things and leave my site immediately," Chloe demands. Ethan slowly stands up and closes his laptop with a quiet click. Chapter 2. Kicked to the curb. Ethan walks down the narrow apartment stairs, carrying his single suitcase. Heavy rain pours from the dark night sky. Chloe watches from the second-floor window with a cold smirk on her face. She locks the front door loudly and pulls the expensive curtains shut. Ethan stands on the wet sidewalk as the freezing water drenches his clothes. He places his laptop bag inside his jacket to protect his valuable work. A sleek, black sports car speeds by and splashes muddy water all over his shoes. Ethan looks down at his empty wallet and sighs heavily. He checks his phone, but the screen flashes a low battery warning and goes completely black. He stands completely alone in the dark, looking like a defeated beggar. Chapter 3. The Gathering Storm. Chloe opens a bottle of expensive champagne to celebrate her new freedom. She immediately calls her wealthy friends to tell them she finally dumped her broke husband. Down on the street, Ethan walks toward the bright streetlights of the main road. He pulls a small, encrypted metallic device from his pocket. He presses the hidden button, and the device glows with a bright blue light. Suddenly, the roaring sound of a powerful engine echoes through the quiet neighborhood. Blinding LED headlights cut through the thick sheet of pouring rain. A brand-new, custom midnight black Rolls-Royce turns sharply onto the street. The luxury vehicle slows down and glides smoothly toward the curb where Ethan stands. Chloe hears the deep purr of the engine and runs back to her window to peek outside. Chapter 4. The Shocking Arrival. The massive Rolls-Royce stops smoothly right in front of Ethan. The door opens, and a tall driver in a spotless black suit steps out into the rain. The driver holds a large luxury umbrella over Ethan to protect him from the storm. "Welcome back, boss. The global acquisition is complete," the driver says respectfully. Chloe's jaw drops instantly as she watches the scene from her window. She rubs her eyes quickly, thinking she is dreaming. Ethan hands his cheap, wet suitcase to the driver, who places it carefully in the trunk. The driver opens the rear door, revealing a glowing, ultra-modern interior. Chloe runs out of her apartment building and dashes into the pouring rain. "Ethan, what is the meaning of this?" she screams at the top of her lungs. Chapter 5. The Mask Falls. Ethan turns around slowly and looks at his shivering wife with calm eyes. Chloe looks at the luxury car and then back at Ethan's glowing phone screen. His screen now displays a bank balance of $950 million. You are the secret founder of Apex Tech." Chloe stammers in complete shock. Ethan steps closer, the luxury umbrella keeping him perfectly dry while Chloe gets drenched. "I wanted a woman who loved me for who I am, Chloe, not for my money," Ethan says coldly. Chloe falls to her knees on the wet pavement and grabs his expensive shoes. "Please, Ethan, I was just stressed. I still love you," she begs through tears. Ethan gently pulls his foot away from her desperate, manicured hands. The driver opens the car door wider, waiting for Ethan to step inside. Chapter 6. The Ultimate Departure. Ethan steps comfortably into the warm, leather interior of the Rolls-Royce. He does not look back at the woman weeping on the wet pavement. The driver closes the heavy door with a solid, luxurious thud. Chloe bangs frantically on the tinted glass window, but Ethan ignores her completely. The driver returns to the steering wheel and shifts the car into gear. The midnight black vehicle glides away smoothly, leaving Chloe alone in the dark. She stands frozen in the heavy rain, holding a handful of wet mud. Her greed has cost her the ultimate life of luxury and true love. Ethan looks out the window as the apartment building disappears into the distance. He opens his glowing laptop to sign the final divorce papers with a single tap. Payoff and lesson. True loyalty cannot be bought, and real love does not look at a bank account. Chloe traded a priceless heart for temporary material greed and lost everything in the end. Ethan hid his vast fortune to find a genuine partner, but found a lesson in betrayal instead. Now he drives forward into a brilliant future, leaving the gold digger far behind in his rearview mirror. Never humble someone who is building in silence, because their success might just leave you in the dust.